me now? Who's gonna tear me down? Remember, this is my game. Yes, it is.
Why don't you go ahead and start us off? You're so charismatic. You're so charismatic. You can get it going right off the rip.
So brave and stunning, am I right?
Brave and stunning, the opposite of what's your phrase that you like to use? That's going to be on a T-shirt.
Biased and pandering.
Yeah, brave and stunning, the opposite.
I don't know. I think there's a good amount.
The
of
antithesis.
overlap. Well, if you don't agree with the brave and stunning, then you're always biased and pandering by default.
Facts.
You're never just a rational thinker who has a differing opinion, right? You're an idiot. You're evil. You deserve death by fire. That's how it works. Get with the times. So with all that being said, cut that. But with all of that other being said, we're here. We're talking about upcoming games. And personally, I knew there was a couple of games coming up, but I've done a little bit of looking into it just out of curiosity, you know, the same kind of single cell organism brain shit that everyone else does. New games 2022 on YouTube. You watch a couple videos, whatever. I will say that I personally feel like there are many more games that I'm pretty interested in than I would expect. I'm kind of glad that I looked for them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of games. Like I think we talked about when we were watching those videos. You know, I was kind of bummed not looking forward to anything. All I had to look forward to was Overwatch 2, and that was disappointing when we played the beta. So I was pretty bummed out. Then we watched a couple of videos of upcoming games, and now I'm not bummed out. And I think we're going to go through some of those today and talk about them a little bit. But there's definitely a lot to look forward to in the gaming world with these upcoming games.
I have about a dozen, roughly. And I'd say I knew 3 or 4 of them were coming out and that I was excited about those. So that's not bad at all, you know?
I thought the same amount.
I would say my problem is, I don't know, man. I still got that fucking COVID PTSD. I'm like not convinced any of these games are going to come out on time. Like,
some of these are games that have been pushed back and should have already been released.
I know, and if history has taught us anything, it's that 1 or 2 pushbacks is not the end of pushbacks. They can always keep pushing back.
We're talking about Cyberpunk.
Q3 2022 is going to turn into December 2025, and then I'm not even going to give a shit. Like, don't ask me about that game we've been waiting 6 years on, because if it would come out after 3 years, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't want to play the game. I don't want to experience it. I really want to insult the creatives behind that massive fuck up. I don't even want to experience your game, even if I get it for free. No interest whatsoever. But that's just me. Hopefully, these games will make it out on time. I'll tell you right now, I'm a little bit cautious of at least a couple of them, just based on the amount of content that's been released versus, you know, the expected release.
I mean, that's totally understandable. I mean, that's the new norm. You get unlimited extensions. That's just how it is. People accept that now.
That's whack.
We as a gaming community have to have a lot more pushback. And I don't know, man. Let's cancel them.
Both sides are vocal, you know? You have the people that get pissed off something's pushed back, and you have the people that say, oh, you sweet little darlings, take all the time you need. I don't care. Do your best. And it's like the answer's somewhere in the middle, you know? Why can't we just be realistic about the timeline, you know? Fuck, man, I say you know too much. No, they don't know. God damn it.
You know.
Why can't we be more realistic about the timeline? And if you're in a situation where things aren't coming together as smoothly as you thought, whether you're underpowered or, you know, there was a shakeup in the company, you know, all kinds of things like that, why can't there be a level of transparency where you announce that your game's not going to be ready before people are expecting it to come out? When's the last time a game got pushed back when it wasn't supposed to be out within 3 months?
I couldn't tell you. I know with Cyberpunk, towards the later end of that, with all the pushback, all the dates getting pushed back for release, people were getting all outraged because they were working their employees, making them do OT, working them too hard. The developers were working way too hard and putting in too many hours. That's inhumane to make them work so long. How dare us as a game community encourage this kind of behavior? Fuck work, bitch. Cut that.
Fucking gamers don't know shit about working, dude. They live
They
in
don't.
this
They don't.
ideal world where just, food and rent and stuff has always been there and everything is all sunshine and rainbows. Everybody fucking works. Most people work hard. Most people view overtime as an opportunity, right? And then after they
Yeah.
do it for a little while, they see how much they get raped by taxes. And then it's
Hmm.
like, okay, well, that really wasn't worth it. That was like a zero sum game. It's like I made an additional $500, but I got taxed for 400 of it. So I may as well have just spent my free time picking up pennies in the Walmart parking lot. And that's adulthood. That's just how that goes,
Being an adult sucks in many aspects. We won't get into that, but
I like it. I mean, the responsibilities and expectations are kind of one thing, but at the same time, I feel like the maturity that comes with it, if you're doing it right, and the development, it's like the things I can do and say and feel with confidence now, I could never do as a teenager or a young child, even if I wanted to, I simply did not have the skills and tools necessary to be a person that I'm excited about being. So that's an upside to adulthood, but plenty of people fuck that up. That's not the default path, right? But that is one that's available to us all.
yes, yeah, exactly. Now, let me go ahead and preface. I've had a few drinks. I'm drinking at the moment, um, to bear with me a little bit. Um, we're talking
Black bear or grizzly bear with you?
who?
Black bear or grizzly bear with you? Are you
Ah,
fucking are
I
you
get it. I get it. It's a
are
joke.
you are you beneath the fucking floor drunk? Like
No, no, no. I just didn't get the joke because I said bear with me, and then you made a joke about literal bears. I got you. It just took a second for me to process that. Back on track. Cut all of that out. We're talking about games,
cut that.
upcoming games that we're going to be looking forward to, and we haven't talked about any games yet. So
Bro,
um,
fuck them games.
that's what we're talking about. We're over here having a conversation about butter in the fridge versus butter on the counter. I want to talk about games. That's what we're here for. Games.
Man, fuck them games. They ain't coming out till 2024 anyway.
You're probably right, but
We
I can
we
build
can
my
have an upcoming game videos every 3 months, and we'll
the
talk about
same
the same
list.
games for the next 2 years. But
Not
but
wrong.
I hear what you're saying, and to touch on an earlier point, I'll say a game that I'm really
Butter on the
excited
counter.
about. Well, that too. The answer is on the counter. But a game I'm really excited about that I don't know that they're genuinely going to release when expected. Atomic Heart.
How did I know you were going to say that? I knew you were going to say that one. I was looking at that one today.
Atomic Heart is sick. I've been a big fan of that since we first got into Escape from Tarkov, and I saw the graphics and how weird and off-putting all of the character designs were for the
There's a
enemies and
killer
stuff.
robot with a mustache.
There's so much cool stuff, and I love weird, bizarre shit. I don't need it to make sense. Fuck reality, dude. I'm not down with that. Let's get weird. And that game looks weird and
It looks
super
very
fun.
weird. It looks. I'm not completely sure on it, but it looks like you have like a crafting system, kind of like zombie. Is it Zombie Island? Is that the one where you made like the weird
Dead
weapons
Island?
and shit? Dead Island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like you have a weapon crafting system similar to that, and a dying light type.
Yeah, it definitely gives me that vibe. And overall, it's like the game looks super cool. I'd love to play it. And it's allegedly coming out Q4 2022. And it's been slated for that release for a while. But I mean, there's been virtually no content on it. Like, I think they've done a little bit of gameplay, but it was just like a controlled thing. It's not like they're opening it up and letting people access the game to play it.
Hmm.
Not that they have to either. They have no obligation to their fans, audience, anything like that. I don't believe in any of that shit. But with that being said, it does make me skeptical on the progress of the game itself.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not as excited for Dying Light. I'm not a big fan of those types of games. It looks like it's really
Are you talking about
melee.
Atomic Heart?
Yeah, what did I say?
Dying Light?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either because they're both. It has that type of melee centric feel. I mean, I watched the trailers and stuff, and there are some guns and things, but a lot of it looks like it's melee centric, and I'm not a super fan of running around just swinging different types of melee weapons. Uh, Maybe if it was a little gory, but it looks like it's a lot of robot stuff going on, and I don't know how gory robots can be. But I could just be biased and pandering. Who knows? I'm sure it's what you're going to say that I am. But
No, I was gonna say it depends on how it's implemented, right? Because if they're going for this like extreme level of realism you would see in like Tarkov or Stalker, then it would make sense to me that ammo is hard to find in quantity.
mhm,
So you may want to save that, right? Especially if there is depth on the weapons with durability and stuff like that. Like that may be why you would prefer to fight fodder or just general stuff that you can with a melee weapon. And for all we know, that guy that's playing it just wants to use melee weapons, you
also
know?
possible.
Just
Yeah.
thinks they're cooler, and maybe guns are readily available and it's kind of a whole separate skill tree similar to Cyberpunk, how you can build it out however you want. You have that flexibility, but at the end of the day, like I said, we don't have a bunch of opinions on the game. We have like one or two gameplay pieces and a couple of trailers, and we have no idea what is actually on the table because we're not, if I remember correctly, we're not even like really seeing menus and stuff like that or
Hmm.
inventory. We're just
Hmm.
seeing like gameplay. And like you're saying, I remember feeling similarly. I was like, "Oh, we're doing the melee thing again?" Like, is there any particular reason, you know?
I hope there's a good reason. Maybe it's just like you said, the person who's demoing the game for us. That's their preference. So that's probably going to be a game that I'll let you buy and play first as an experiment, and you let me know how it is, if it's worth playing or not. It's probably not something I'm going to be looking to buy day one. A game that I am probably looking to buy day one is there's a couple. Forspoken. I don't know if you remember that one. We looked at that one a little bit, and then
Yeah.
Sons of the Forest. I know you definitely know Sons of the Forest. That one you were really impressed by, where you're running around with cannibal heads and stuff in your hands, and you're crafting and all that good stuff. Kind of like Rust, but horror survival.
Yeah,
It looks
so
kind of scary.
I definitely am looking forward to Forspoken. Uh, just a bunch of magic RPG stuff, really cool
Mhm.
graphics, and it looks fun,
I think
right?
they came out with a new trailer recently. I watched that earlier today.
I don't know if I saw a new trailer from them, but I've been looking at videos on it, so I'm sure there might be some overlap. And yeah, the weapons just look really fun. And I think it's easier to do that with magic stuff than it is with
Hmm.
guns. But
Hmm.
either way, as long as the weapons feel cool and fun and satisfying and you have area effects and shiny things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love shiny things and particle effects. You got me. If you have those, I'm in.
Yeah, I would definitely day one Forspoken. And Sons of the Forest looks super sick to me
It
because
looks
it's,
terrifying.
yeah, it looks like PvE Tarkov, which I know is Stalker. But
We'll
instead
get
of
to that.
having other people, we're dealing with, monsters or demons and stuff like that. That
Cannibals.
seems very cool to me.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
should
it was
play
in
the
the.
Forest in VR.
Oh, that'd be terrifying, dude. That'd be terrifying. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I'm pretty sure I watched a trailer on that earlier on Sons of the Forest, and one of the monsters was like a blob that threw like babies at you. Like it was throwing babies.
You mean Harvey Weinstein?
I guess so. If he's a blob that throws babies, then yeah, accurate.
I mean, legally and technically speaking.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. That's terrible. That's terrible, man. Definitely cut that out.
I'm
Definitely,
not
that's
cutting that.
rough.
Don't cut that. Don't cut that.
No.
Don't cut that.
Oh, that hurt me when I realized.
That's called tact. You had to really let that one marinate for a second to connect the dots. I ain't say anything vulgar.
That one I needed a rag to wipe my face with, like a lot of those women. Yeah, that was rough. Anyway,
You know what I noticed in looking at a lot of these games is I know we talked about this like a decade ago, how I said Xbox is in it for the long haul and they will certainly surpass and set the trends for, gaming moving forward. And the games that are coming out this year are evidence of that, right? Because we know they bought ZeniMax, they bought Obsidian, they bought Bethesda, right? So you may think, oh, well, they're just going to make all of these Xbox exclusives and then, it's going to cut down the market, which or excuse me, it's going to push sales to the Xbox, which is true and false, right? Because you might get a very small conversion of PlayStation players who say, well, I guess I need to buy an Xbox as well, right?
mhm.
But more than likely, you're just going to divide the fan base and lose sales on the game in and of itself. And if you own the game and the publishing, then you would rather make money on the game on any platform.
And not making an exclusive. Yeah, I
So, with
understand.
all of that being said, that's not what they're doing either. What they're doing is they're getting all of these great games, absolute classics. We're talking about Doom, Skyrim, all of that shit, as well as the upcoming games, name drop Starlight, the next Bethesda open world RPG, and they're putting it on Game Pass. That is a baller move. Saying we're not even going to sell this shit. We're going to build an amazing catalog of AAA games that are available to you for free via our subscription service, which is very reasonably priced.
It's already great with what they have now.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, when we talk about all of the Fallouts and Doom games and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and everything else from Bethesda and ZeniMax, like there is a huge catalog of very enjoyable, very high quality games that they're giving out. And like you said, it's been good because we've both had it for years at this
Hmm.
point. But it's even better today, and it's getting much better throughout this year and beyond. And again, Sony never did anything like that. They haven't invested in that. So maybe PSVR 2 is going to be big, but I really doubt it, right? And I think they're going to get
Probably not.
lapped in the upcoming years, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Starfield coming to PC and Xbox, new Bethesda open world
I'm
RPG.
actually not familiar with that one at all. I've not seen anything about that.
Well, Bethesda, and that's kind of their thing. God damn it, they don't know. Fuck.
I don't know.
So that's kind of their thing. So it should be a very, very good RPG. They could certainly drop the ball, right? But I think it's definitely worth a try, right? And it's something that hasn't been done 100 times. It's not post-apocalyptic situation, to my knowledge. Something dealing with space, so maybe there will be some alien pussy out there.
Now, is it going to be like a shooter kind of RPG, or is it going to be like a Skyrim type first person, that type of melee combat, magic type of stuff? Or do you
No,
know
I
anything
don't
about it?
think it's going to be magical. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a good amount of melee and firearms.
Is it
You
going to
know,
feel like Destiny? Is it first person?
I don't think it's going to feel like Destiny. To my knowledge, it is first person, but it's an open world RPG by Bethesda. So the best thing for you to do is to rack your brain on the other Bethesda RPGs, which is obviously most notably the Fallout series,
Yeah.
right? And did Bethesda do Elder Scrolls?
Don't get me lying to you, dude. Don't get me lying to you. I have no idea. I never even played Skyrim all the way through. I know I'm a sinner.
Yeah, Skyrim is one of the top selling games. Yeah, so
I
we're
mean, they
talking.
sold it for 8 fucking years, something like that. So
Yeah,
I
and
hope
that's the
so.
only reason they keep selling it, right? That's why they keep re-releasing it because it's either the most bought game of all time or second to Pokemon. It's literally carrying it, and that's the only reason they keep re-releasing it. So for the record, when we talk about Bethesda, we're talking about the Elder Scrolls series as well as the Fallout series, Dishonored, Deathloop, lots of big games in that space. There's lots of horror games and stuff too, but I think we could really
So they
sum
made
up.
some of the best RPGs ever made.
Yes, exactly. Between Fallout and Elder Scrolls, like that's all that needs to be said. Whether
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, New Vegas, Fallout 3, etc. They have their shit on lock. So that should be the best RPG that comes out this year if it comes out this year. Whenever it does, it should be the best, and if it's not, that's a slight against them because their track record is just too strong. That's how I
Well,
feel about it.
color me excited for that one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also looking forward to Avowed, which is kind of hard to describe in my opinion. I haven't seen much on it. I don't know if there is gameplay. I've just seen the trailer. If you saw a clip of it, you would remember it. What stands
Mhm.
out for me is a really cool sword with some sort of ancient language on it that starts shining, and then dude making little weird hand signals with his other hand, casting some sort of magic abilities.
Naruto-ing it up.
Similar, right? It's not quite like sign language or some Naruto shit, but it's more like, imagine drawing like a hashtag with your finger and then there being like a purple tracer there and that casts some sort of spell. But I think that one's cool.
You
And
had me at shiny
PS5,
sword.
exactly. PS5 also get fucked. Not coming. I'm telling you, man, lots of these big games are not coming to PS5. They're coming to Xbox Game Pass and PC.
Let's be real. The only people who on PS5, the only game they care about is the latest Madden game, if we're being honest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Spider Man.
No, they don't even care about that. They care about the PS5 users. They're Madden players and NFL, NBA 2K, whatever players.
Speaking of RPGs, and this one could actually contend with Starlight, or excuse me, Starfield, or any of these other ones, because it's a sequel. Outer Worlds 2 is supposed to come out.
Yes, yes. I love the first game. The first game was great. I love playing that one. It's kind of short, but I still loved it.
I felt like it was quality over quantity. I'd rather have a game that I want to replay than a game that I feel like I'm dragging myself across the finish line. Fuck, they don't know. God damn
I know. You're talking to me, right? I know.
it.
I know what you mean on that one.
Yeah, if there's one game that I have written down that I honestly don't know if I give a shit about, I think I'll wait and see what the real gameplay looks like. Is Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. There was what is that from what movie is that? Harry Potter. Harry Potter. I was there was a Harry Potter game I used to play that was fun. I don't know about Hogwarts Legacy.
I liked them too, but I don't think I would like them today. I don't think
Yeah, I
they
liked them as a
stand up.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
so as an adult, I'm not sure. I'm probably on the same boat on that one. It'll be out for a few months, I'm sure, before I look into it or see if it's something that I like. Now, there is a game that I have down here that I think you will be interested in. And that was Stray, the one where you play as a cat.
Oh yeah, dude. I've been waiting on that since like 2013 when it was
That's
like
one
a
that they'll keep pushing it back.
Oh yeah, I think they
You'll
said the
never
release
play it.
date for that's 2025 anyway. It's like who gives a fuck about that, dude?
You get to play as a cat. It doesn't get cooler than that. Aren't
If
you like
I'm
some kind of
still
detective?
alive.
Are you some kind of detective cat? Who doesn't want to be a detective cat?
Well, based on the original plot, which I do think has been changed and reworked, but originally you were a cat on an island, kind of some Great Gatsby type shit, being somewhat isolated. But anywho, you were a cat, your owners were murdered. You can talk with other cats in the neighborhood, and you're investigating the disappearance of your owners. And personally, I hope that is the plot. And at the end, the big reveal is that the cat never gave a shit what happened to his owners. He was just hungry. That's That's what I wanted to see. But like I said, I don't think that that's the direction they're going, at least not that directly. But originally, that was it. Like, you can communicate with other cats in the neighborhood and ask them about their owners and where they went and what was going on, that kind of stuff. So we'll see.
It definitely looks like a fun little casual game.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to check it out. I mean, honestly, cats have like the most insane movement possible. That should be super fun.
Another one I know that I'm sure you're looking forward to, probably more than I, because I haven't played the first one, and that's the sequel to Breath of the Wild. I know you love Breath of the Wild, but I've never played it. And I know that unanimously it's a pretty well accepted, well received open world game. Probably one of the best
It's
I've heard.
Yeah, I don't think it's just well received. I think that if you were to take polls, people would put that as, depending on their age, probably the greatest game of all time. And even in a wide open format with as much data as you could get, people would put that as the best RPG experience or the best open world experience. It's definitely worth playing. It's something you should fuck with
Yeah, I need
because
to buy a used copy on eBay or something for my Switch.
yeah, I just bought it on the marketplace with all the DLC and shit.
Are you looking forward to the sequel? Do you know anything about the sequel? Are you looking forward to it?
I know very little about it. I don't like follow videos and channels that make stuff because it's all theoretical, you know. Nintendo does a good job of keeping everything under lock and key for the most part. There's not a whole lot of leaks and speculation. Well, there is speculation, but it's just that. It's speculation. So, I've seen the videos that Nintendo has put out. Looks dope. I have no doubt they're going to knock it out of the fucking park. When did they ever make a bad Zelda game? Never. That's all I need to know. New Zelda game, I'm there. That's it. Can't wait for
Well, there's a game that I'm looking forward to that may be an unpopular opinion because I don't think a lot of people like these types of games. But the new Suicide Squad game, the movies are terrible. Go ahead and set that out there so everyone knows. But the game looks like it'll be fun. You're fighting evil Superman, evil Justice League as the Suicide Squad, and the gameplay I've seen looks like it'll be a fun little RPG. Gives me God, Infamous vibes. You've played the Infamous games. It seems kind of like that. I think there was another game that we were talking about that kind of felt like or looked like Infamous. Remember what that was?
Not off the top of my head, but I know that DC has a game coming up aside from Suicide Squad. It's Gotham something.
Yeah, I saw that one too. I'm not
That looks
as
like dog shit.
yeah, I'm not
And
really looking forward to
Marvel
that.
also has a game similar to that coming out. And that looks like dog shit as well.
The
So we went
last
from
Marvel game that they made, what last year, year before last, was terrible. Pretty sure
yeah, we
everyone
went
hated
from
that
making
unanimously.
contrived over manufactured dog shit movies to contrived over manufactured dog shit games. So that's a nice lateral movement. Really appreciate that.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see how the Suicide Squad game develops with the new information that we get on it. I'll keep an eye on it. It may end up being bad as well, but fingers crossed that it's not.
Yeah, if there's
Um,
any weird or dumb game I'm looking forward to, it's Pal World. I
I'm
know
not
you know
familiar.
what that is.
I don't think so.
I could say 2 words and you'll know exactly what game I'm talking about.
All right.
Pokemon Guns.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that game does look fun. It looks
It's
like a
so
lot of
sick.
dumb
It's
fun.
so fucking dumb, and I don't care. I want it. I want
Okay,
to be a part of
when does that game? I might have to look. Jamie, can you pull it up right now and tell us when that comes out? Because I need to know.
that.
I'm fuck this list. I'm gonna delete it all and just write PAL. What is it called?
Pal World.
PAL World. That's all I care about from here on out. Anyone who listens to this, fuck everything
It
else we
says
say. Just look
2022, but
into PAL World. That's all you need to know. It's the only
all
game.
all we can see is 2022. Oh man,
Well,
people like the one of the top things people also ask in Google is Pal World a real game? Like people can't believe
what's
that.
the answer? What's the answer? Please say
Yes.
yes and not no. Okay.
Yes. Plan to release this year. And again, man, the fact that there's so little about the game, it sketches me out. I'm not convinced these games are going to come out.
Oh no. Well, one game we know for sure is going to come out, and we've seen a lot of information about it lately. Is the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022.
Yeah, dude, and that game looks super sick. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the campaign on Modern Warfare
Mm-hmm.
2019. I enjoyed the campaign on the original Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 as well. I think Modern
Mm-hmm.
Warfare 2 was actually the most memorable of all the campaigns, and I hope that they bring some of that back. Like, No Russian is a meme to this day. Modern Warfare 2 mission. If I post a screenshot of that shit where I believe you're with soap and you're trying to jump across the ice crevasse or whatever it is, and you're like falling to
Mm-hmm.
your death and you get the ice pick out, Modern Warfare 2.
Yep, a good one.
It's like there are several iconic moments from that game that prove I'm not biased and pandering, and this is not influenced by nostalgia because it's very relatable and people know exactly what you're referencing to this day. I think Modern Warfare 2019 had a better campaign, right? But for the time period, Modern Warfare 2 really stood out. And I hope that we get some of that. Like, I know it's not going to be a 1-to-1 remake, but I hope that they at least take advantage of a couple of those levels or missions, to create similar
Well, it's
circumstances.
supposed to be a reboot, so it's a sequel to 2019, which was a reboot of the OG Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they do take some of the level design from some of the previous levels for the previous games and implement them in a new modern
I would love
looking
them to bring back
visual.
Spec Ops.
Oh yeah, Spec Ops was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Spec Ops is like my favorite. I
I
used to spend
absolutely
so much
love the
time
one where
there.
you're on the jet skis going downhill on the jet ski, not jet skis, the fucking
The snowmobiles.
snowmobiles. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of my favorites. But
All the sniping stuff was
mhm.
really fun. That one where you're in the
The
map that ends up being
C-130.
Wasteland. Oh man, I remember. I think I was playing it with you. We got
Yeah, we
fucked
played
up on
it.
that
Yeah,
shit,
well,
dude.
we were playing it like the hardest difficulties always. But yes, yeah,
Well,
we
of
got fucked up
course,
a few times.
of course. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 looks super sick. The Dark Water trailer came out today, and
They're
I
on
could be
rig Rust environment. That was a Rust Easter egg.
wrong. I was thinking the only easy day was yesterday, Modern Warfare 2 level. But either way, it looks super cool. It
Hmm.
looks fun. And I feel like they have a movement speed mechanic now, which has never been present before. Just by watching the first 30 seconds of that trailer, you see the guy moving at kind of a weird middle speed, which makes the weapon bob look a little strange, right?
Hmm.
But then you see him drastically slow down and then eventually speed back up again. So that makes me think that they might have movement speed on the scroll wheel like you would in Tarkov.
Now, how do they translate that to console? Do you think that kind of movement mechanic?
Well, let me try to
Amount of
remember what you need on console. So you
amount
want
of
me,
input, like the amount of pressure you put on your analog sticks.
or they could do a combination, right? Something like holding down. Well, I guess they could put it on the D-pad, or is that used for other shit?
D-pad would usually be to call in your kill streaks and cycle through your kill streaks.
Yeah, so you press down on the D-pad and then use your right stick. That seems to make sense to
Well,
me.
I heard they were going to have a Tarkov-esque mode in the new Call of Duty.
Thank God. I hate fucking Warzone. There has never been a more successful dog shit experience. I fucking hate Warzone. I hated it when it was, what was it called? Blackout in Black Ops 4?
Blackout. Yep.
I
Yep.
hated
Yep.
it even more then. I don't like battle royales that much to begin with. But then the Call of Duty Battle Royale, I will say that they made very big worlds and it ran very smooth and the graphics are very good. Technically, it should be good, but it just feels boring, soulless, and forgiving. The opposite
Yeah.
of unforgiving. Literally forgiving.
Well, let's be real. The Tarkov, if they do have a Tarkov-esque mode, it'll probably also be forgiving as well.
That's softer than 10 ply. I don't like it. I want the
Well,
pain.
I don't think there'll be no substitution for Tarkov, except for maybe if you're looking for PVE, Stalker 2, which is also on my list. And even
Yeah, I
then,
have
I don't think
Stalker
that's as
too.
hard as Tarkov.
Stalker is definitely in that same space And the advantage Stalker would have is that, well, the reason it may not be as hard is because, you're not dealing with enemy players in the same
Hmm.
regard.
And their unpredictability.
The reason it might be harder is because, unlike Tarkov, this is a finished game, right? So if there's weird mechanics involved that require, radio communications and stuff like that, they'll actually be there, like now. Unlike Tarkov, where, it's always hard as shit, but it's only supposed to get harder with the added mechanics and restrictions and things like that. If there's one game that caught my attention that's a little bit out of it's getting a little looked over, I feel, by some of the other popular articles and videos, is
What's that?
Nightingale. Right, that was the one. I'm sure you remember it from the images. It looks like a woman wearing like Victorian era clothing, and it's a survival craft game. But what appeals to me is it seems like it's a survival crafting game, right? Where it's raiding PvE. And by that I mean these monsters or demons or whatever they are attack your settlement, your base, up to the point of having like giants attacking you on some Attack on Titan type shit. And it's up to you to fend them off. So I think that's a very interesting mechanic that could really solve a lot of problems. And I would love to see that kind of pressure. It's like countering raids is awesome.
Is that a multiplayer game or single player?
I don't entirely know, but I know it's
PvE
supposed to
only,
come
I'm
out this
assuming.
year. It may be co-op, it may be PvP and PvE, it may just be PvE. If it's
What about
co-op, that's good enough
PP?
for me.
PP? Anyway, cut that out, please. Um, I have I have a couple games on my list here that have already came out recently this year that I've missed and would like to revisit. And a couple of those are just going to be Dying Light,
Elden Ring,
Elden Ring. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of hate for that, but I don't think I'm going to like that game. Tina's Tiny Wonderland.
for sure.
That's all I have. That's already out. Overwatch 2, which we have another beta coming up soon on Overwatch 2.
Yeah, and
Next
hopefully,
week.
like you said, there will be different mechanics and shit like that. Well, they're announcing something related to the next beta next week. And hopefully it'll be, if they could get anything from PvE out, that would be sick.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one or two other game modes with another handful of maps that we haven't seen, just different stuff. Doesn't have to be the whole game. Just don't show us what you already showed us, because we've already seen it. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I kind of got burnt out on Overwatch 2 towards the end of it anyways, already, with how it was. So if it's the exact same, I mean, it's better than playing Overwatch 1, I guess. So it's got that going for it, even if it is the same. Maybe.
We've been playing too much V Rising. We didn't jump back into Overwatch 1, so I don't know. Maybe Overwatch 1 is a good time again.
Perhaps we'll have to try it. V Rising is a great game, and I think we should do a podcast on that.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know how much there is to say about it, It's a great game, super enjoyable, super fun, but really, what is there to say about it?
Well, I guess you can say it here. Just buy the game. It's fun. Trust.
Well, they're not paying me, so I'm not going to tell people to buy the game.
It's a fun game. I'll say it.
It's a very good game, but I'm not going to tell you to go buy it. It's worth your money, but I'm not going to make a commission off that. I'm an expert salesman. Why the fuck should I be selling for free?
I'm out here just doing the Lord's work and trying to help other gamers find and play and enjoy good games.
If you play Rust, go play V Rising. You have a great time.
Play it like Rust. It pisses off the mouth breathers.
If you don't play Rust, then yeah, you might have a bad time because you don't understand what kind of predators lurk in these waters. We saw that firsthand. I don't know about podcasts, but we can definitely get a video going. Maybe I can edit the video and then we can react to it and post it at the same time. So there's a little commentary about it. But I chronicled this entire saga with this duo that we got into an argument and then a fight with really early in Wipe when we were like all sub level 20. And it goes all the way through when Roger and I are at absolute endgame and then raid them. Then they talk shit. So then we raid them again. And it's like, oh yeah, come do it again, pussy. So then we do it again. They're like, well, you're just bullying us. And it's a whole thing. It's
Fucking
hilarious.
Rust players.
You really are one of those Rust players, aren't you? You're goddamn right. V
Good time.
Rising is super fun though. Definitely a good time.
Well, is there any other games you're looking forward to coming out? I'm sure there's a lot that I'm missing. There's a lot of games coming out. I'm sure there's a lot that neither one of us has even heard of.
Yeah. I touched on a couple of them in the Boomer Shooter stuff. One being a medieval, the Black Labyrinth.
Mhm.
That's definitely a top 3 of all of these games. If I could like pick 3 to play, it would probably be a medieval, Black Labyrinth, Outer Worlds 2, and Sons of the Forest.
Blasphemy! You forgot the Pokemon Shooter Up game. That needs
I
to be
mean,
top
I
of the
want
list.
to play that, but I feel like they don't even have a demo ready. I don't feel like that's a real thing. This is like NPC dialogue taken to the level of game development. Like, I feel like I'm getting memed. I don't like it, but I do want to
Possible.
play that game. 100%.
Well, open up your email inbox for people to recommend games for us that we have missed. So I'm sure
It's
there's some.
been open. It's been open. And all I get is these offers for, tens of millions of dollars to talk about people's stuff. And it's like, nah, dude, we're not doing that. That's the reality of it. We're just so big and successful that I feel like we have an obligation to our loyal audience we've cultivated over the past couple of months to, not sell out, not take the cheap.
Unless you're Raid Shadow Legends and just for the meme of it,
Oh yeah, 100%. I would love to promote Raid Shadow Legends.
just for the
Eh,
meme.
I don't know. They're gonna have to provide me with gameplay. I'm not playing a fucking mobile game. Like, I'm just not. That also reminds me. Diablo Immortal obviously has its problems being a mobile Diablo game, but I had no idea exactly how pay to win that game is. Like, it
Is it
is
really? Did you play
absurd.
the beta? I thought about playing it, but did not.
No, but Diablo 4 is supposed to come out either this year or early next year, so that should be a full-fledged Diablo game. But yeah, the pay to win is literally packed in every single crack, corner, and crevice you can imagine. Like every time you finish a raid or doing something in the game, it asks you if you would like to pay like $2.99 to get an additional 50% loot.
Well, what do you expect from a mobile game? That's how all mobile games are set up. They got to get their money. They're usually free, and you can say their way to make money is to make you pay for that kind of stuff. Surprised there's not some time mechanic where you have to wait, but you can pay to skip the wait.
I mean, that's how mobile games used to be. Like that was the OG, like farming simulators and
Clash
stuff.
of Clans.
Exactly. Like it takes a lot of fucking time to get this shit done. I used to work with a guy. What was that game he played? I couldn't tell you the name of it. I don't think it's Age of Empires. I think that's a PC exclusive. But it was some game in that breath, right? Like a more
Mm-hmm.
realistic medieval Clash of Clans. And this guy, I'm not going to say his name because I have some very negative opinions on his choices. But what the fuck is wrong with you to the point that you're like sneaking thousands of dollars from your wife to buy shit in a video game on your phone? And people in
Oh,
his clan would buy high level accounts for like 15 grand and like
the
at work,
fuck?
at home, constantly. They're having like calls with each other and group calls to strategize shit. And it's like, why don't you put this much effort into your real life? Like, life is an XP grind, no question about it. What you need to do is shut off that part of your brain that says, well, I would rather beat my dick and smoke weed all day, and then just do the XP grind. Hit your side quests, level up, unironically.
Thought you were going to say hit your wife.
Only if the dishes are still dirty when you get back.
We can't condone that behavior. Don't do that.
I mean, you call 1-800-BEAT-A-BITCH. Just
Oh
picking up
no.
every time.
Oh no. We're gonna be canceled, dude. I'm surprised we're not canceled already.
Nothing makes me happier than just flinching at women, you know, lunge at them real quick when they look
Oh
at you in the
no.
supermarket. Just,
Please cut it out. We will be canceled. I feel like you would do the get out meme where you just run at someone and then turn last second at random women.
100%.
You see an unguarded woman and you just run at her.
Yeah. I'm trying to do them a favor and let them know how vulnerable they are in this world. You know, I just walk up to them and it's like, I could rip you right now.
Oh God. Oh God.
Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about it? Think about it right now.
We're going down a dark rabbit hole.
Think about it. Get yourself some protection.
Oh God.
And that's how you make the world a better place, you know? Truth hurts. Sometimes you just gotta let them know.
Catfish Bradley, the superhero.
You just gotta let them know. I do the same thing to kids.
The almost of women and children.
The moral.
The moral. Oh no. All right. Anyway, that wraps up my game list.
Hey man, I told you, fuck them games.
It sounds like you're about to fuck some kids.
Whoa. I would never use such vulgar language. I can't believe you would put those words together. That's inappropriate. You want us to get in trouble?
Hey man, that's not as bad as you saying the second worst hard R word there is.
Second worst hard R. Retard?
No, retard's not, is that a bad word? It is.
I mean, they act like it is, but I have a personal philosophy that a lot of what's wrong with the world is we quit calling people fat, we quit calling them ugly, we quit calling them retards. There's a lot of fat retards making big moves out here, and I can't co-sign that.
Don't forget about.
That's another thing.
I shouldn't say that, should I? We've said some worse things in this podcast.
No, I'll just censor it, see?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, no!
See? That's the magic of censorship.
Oh, no.
Why are you freaking out like this is live? See? Nothing bad happened.
Are you just going to bleep some of my random words, make it sound like I'm cussing a whole bunch, too? Just random words.
I mean, you did.
I just said...
You did. Oh, you did it again. There you go, you naughty dog. Wait till the NAACP hears about this.
I didn't even say that word. It was a different word.
No. Don't you backpedal now.
Yeah, we're living up to the traditional stereotypes of gamers. Racist.
We're living up to the name of this fucking podcast.
What is it? Galacious Gamers.
God damn it. No. Garrulous. I believe the Webster definition goes something along the lines of excessively talkative, especially on trivial or foolish matters. I don't know what the fuck Galacious is. I'll give it a Google.
I just think we need a hat that says GGWP with an iceberg on it. Jamie, pull that up.
What the fuck is this, dude?
Is it a real word? Let's go.
Did our fucking dictionaries get cucked? I click on the page. They're treating it like a name.
Hey.
Alt meaning G is for glow, the warmth of your smile. A is for animated, let your energetic spirit shine. L is for luster, your shine.
That's a poem, bro.
A is for accountable, someone to be counted on.
What do you call the poems that use the first letters?
Acronyms?
Well, like the poem that uses the letters of a word is called something.
It's not a haiku. I have no idea.
But you know what I'm talking about. That's what this is.
Yeah, it looks like Galacious is not a word unless you want to name someone that. And if you named your kid Galacious, you're a fucking retard. Why would you set him up like that?
Dude, all these hard R's dropping. You're gonna have to do a lot of censoring.
What? Retard's not a bad word.
This last part of the podcast is just gonna be beep 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 beep.
It's gonna be Morse code.
Oh no, we digress. We're gonna end the podcast right about here, right? We're getting
Yeah.
we're becoming every ist in the dictionary at the moment.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's called niching down.
Oh,
Business School
we
101.
need to be more niche. I got you at 10-4. Got to find the one person who agrees with all of these viewpoints.
Hey, man, it's called the silent majority for a reason. I mean, we could have been ended it. I'm just waiting on somebody to do the outro.
Well, okay, so it's not Galatius. It's Garrulous. I'm just going to say
Garlic.
Garlic. Forgot.
Are you fucking up the outro again,
Well,
dude?
I forgot. You confused me with the garlic that I forgot the second G, which is obviously gamers. I know that now, but I temporarily forgot. Garlic gamers. That makes no sense. What's the W? I don't even know what WP stands for anymore.
You're not even supposed to like spell it out for the outro.
GGWP. Done.
Oh
Done.
man. Oh,
Beat.
slam dunk.
Yeah.
He killed it. Killed it.
Who's gonna stop me now? Who's gonna tear me down?